There was a key question at the Chilcot inquiry, which I do want to ask you about. When you were asked by Sir Roderick Lyne whether, if they discovered in the intelligence, when they looked back at the intelligence, the JIC intelligence, that it was not the case that there was clear evidence that Saddam Hussein had been building up a WMD program, if they found that, would it then follow that the Prime Minister had misled Parliament? And you said no, but you then retracted that without quite saying yes. So
no, I didn't. As I said in the note I sent to the inquiry afterwards, I misunderstood what Rod Lyne was saying. I thought he was saying that if the JIC reports had led them to believe that they could not say beyond doubt there were WMD, does that, as it were, totally cut away Tony Blair's case? In fact, what I thought he was saying was, if it said in the JIC reports, there are no beyond doubt words. So I misunderstood his question.
So I'll come back to the original question then. If beyond doubt is not established in the intelligence, when this inquiry looks at the intelligence, does it then follow, yes or no, that the Prime Minister misled Parliament?
The Prime Minister didn't mislead Parliament.
Even if the intelligence, when it's looked at, does not confirm that assertion that it was beyond reasonable doubt?
Yes, because, look, as I said, I mean, forgive me for this,
because this is the question. I mean, this is the thing that people say you can't answer this question.
I've been through a lot on this, Andrew. And I've been through a lot of that inquiry. And Tony Blair, I think, is a totally honourable man. And I also think that what we've taken on this is, and what I've taken on this, constantly, you did it again this morning, which is probably why I'm a bit upset, this constant sort of vilification.
When did I vilify?
Well, you compared the novel to the dossier, and it's all fiction, all the rest of it. It's not. And I just think the way that this whole issue has developed now, where I don't think people are interested in the truth anymore, Andrew. I think you're all interested in settling your scores and setting your own agenda. And I'm sorry if I do get upset about this, but I was there alongside Tony. I know how that decision weighed on him. I know the care that we took. And I just think it's...
You surely must understand, 600,000 people died after that war. Now, you may say people would have died if the war hadn't happened, but nonetheless, an awful lot of people... Well, I'm taking internationally accepted UN figures on that. An awful lot of people died. That's why people are upset. They're not answering scores.
I know why they're upset. I know why they're upset. But ultimately, Tony Blair and the government made a decision. And he has to stand by that decision. And what we're looking at is the basis on which he took that decision.
Andrew, and if the intelligence doesn't suggest that there was unequivocal proof or evidence that WMD programmes were being prepared by Saddam Hussein, then Tony Blair went to the House of Commons and to the rest of us and to the world and said something that he had no evidence for. And that's why it's an important question.
No, I'm not saying it's not an important question, Andrew, but I think that the reason why it's being asked again and again and again is because those who, for reasons, I do understand how you reach a different opinion. I do understand that.
Well, I don't have an opinion on this.
Others reach an opinion, but what I'm saying, Andrew, is that the reason people are going over it again and again and again and again is because those who do disagree with the judgment that Tony Blair made actually don't even want to see the other side of the story. And I just think look, this has gone on now for however, 2003, with been inquiry after inquiry. And I just think it's ultimately, as Tony said when he gave his own evidence, it's a judgment that he had to make. And it wasn't just about the dossier. It was also about the history of the regime. It was also about the importance of the transatlantic relationship.
If you're upset about that, let's put the dossier entirely to one side then and simply come back to Sir Roderick Lyne's original question, which was if the original intelligence did not support the view that there was clear and unambiguous evidence that WMD were being prepared by Saddam Hussein, then surely Tony Blair was misleading Parliament.
No, he wasn't, Andrew.
There can be no other conclusion.
No, Andrew, he wasn't, because the original intelligence was the basis of the dossier that Tony Blair, in very good faith, presented to Parliament. He was not misleading Parliament. And I also saw the care and the meticulousness with not just he, but everybody involved in that process presented that case. And it wasn't the case for war. It was the case for why he was more concerned.
It was this phrase, beyond doubt. And it wasn't beyond doubt,
and as
was
I
it?
said to, well, look, it was beyond
wasn't
doubt that
beyond
he used
doubt.
them. It was beyond doubt that he'd had chemical weapons and
It wasn't
that
beyond
he'd used
doubt
them.
that he had a live programme for WMD.
It was beyond doubt, according to
In fact,
the
it wasn't
analysis
true.
that Tony Blair had from the intelligence services that he presented to Parliament. And look, we can go round it again and again and again, Andrew. And you and I are not going to agree. There are lots of people who totally believe, and as I say, I do understand how they come to a different view.
Yeah.
But I also ask you and
All right.
others to understand why Tony Blair came to the view that he did.